You're watching the introduction video of a new mini-series in the Budget Drams Whisky Review channel called the Six Dram Nations. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, the Six Nations is a rugby tournament which sees 6 countries or 6 teams battling out on the rugby field to win the Six Nations tournament. Each team will play each other once, playing a total of 5 games. And any team that wins a game is awarded 3 points, and on a rare occasion, if it's a draw, each team will be awarded 1 point, and the country or team at the end of the tournament with the most points will be crowned the winners. The tournament starts at the beginning of February this year on the Saturday the 6th of February, and it lasts right through to the middle of March, with 2 games played on a Saturday and 1 game played on a Sunday. No 2 games will be played at the same time though. And there's usually a 1 or 2 week break in the middle. But in total, there are 5 games per country. So obviously I like my whiskey. I also enjoy watching my rugby. So I thought, why not bring these 2 together? So I've created the Six Dram Nations. So what I've done is I have selected 6 whiskies, 1 whiskey per country, and what I will do is I will record a video for following the fixtures of the real life tournament. And so I'll have 2 whiskies, 1 from each country taking part. I will give my thoughts on each whiskey, and I will decide which whiskey wins or if there's a draw. And like in the real tournament, the country with the most points will be crowned the winner. But that's where the comparison ends. The result of the real life game will not be compared to the results of this series. And I will actually be releasing each video at kickoff for that respective game. So anyway, the countries that take part every year are England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, also France and Italy. So shall we take a look at the whiskies taking part? I'll be right back.
Cotswold single malt whisky is made from grain to glass in the distillery, using local barley from the Cotswolds, which is mashed and fermented for a full 4 days before being distilled twice in their bespoke copper pot stills. It's then aged in premium ex-bourbon and reconditioned red wine casks before being blended and bottled at the distillery. The nose: honey and butterscotch layered with light fruits, peaches and apricots, and a hint of marzipan. Palate: tannin-rich malt, oils and dark sugar with lots of spice, caramelised Seville orange marmalade. The finish: long and resinous, with dark red fruits and a hint of treacle.
The Guillon distillery was founded in 1997 by Thierry Guillon, who started out in the wine business. It is located in the heart of the Parc Naturel Régional de la Montagne de Drams, a natural regional park near Drams, the capital of the Champagne region. The Guillon Cuvee 42, or batch 42, is a French malt which was twice distilled and matured in 3 different white burgundy casks for 4 to 5 years. It's a young, lightly peated single malt which shows a presence of ripe fruits on the nose and the palate, and was bottled at 40% ABV.
The Tyrconnell. Aromas of roasted nuts, nougat and mild oak precede a palate that is honeyed and rich in texture. The finish brings forth the malt component, allowing a keen graininess to move to the forefront. Drink neat or on the rocks. Also, adding a reasonable amount of water to the whisky is an option, as it will allow the nuances and complexity of the whisky to more clearly present themselves. Double distilled in traditional pot stills for extra character, the Tyrconnell is elegant and sophisticated. It greets the palate with fresh fruit-filled flavours that give way to smooth notes of honey and citrus, and a delicate, dry and lasting finish.
Puni Gold is the classic style of Italian malt whiskey, matured exclusively in the first fill ex-bourbon casks. It is a fragrant and elegant whiskey with a bright golden color and a timeless character. A harmonious marriage of summer fruits and sweet vanilla, completed by a beautiful touch of spicy oak. The signature flavor profile of fresh apples and pears, paired with a spicy maltiness, is always present. The nose is delicately sweet and reminiscent of candy floss. Generous vanilla and ripening peaches emerge. Flowery aromas are intertwined with fresh and fruit notes of citrus, fruits, and malt. Scents of white roses, spicy oaks, wood, and hint of pepper counterpoint the sweetness of banana, ripe mango, and caramel.
Available exclusively on Amazon. This whiskey is a tribute to the power of community, particularly small communities, more specifically tribes. As an island-based distillery, Highland Park created Viking tribes to be discovered and shared with like-minded people who value authenticity, craftsmanship, and epic Norse sagas. The outside of this bottle features a symbol inspired by 13th century Viking art, signifying unity, while the whiskey inside reveals delectable notes of vanilla pods and lemon zest, pepper spice, and smoky peat. It's a natural cask-driven colour with no additives. Light, golden, clear, and bright. Flavours include sweet vanilla, zesty citrus, peppery spices, and aromatic peat smoke.
Penryn produce award-winning single malt whiskies and spirits at their distillery on the foothills of the magnificent Brecon Beacons in South Wales. Welsh gold is extremely rare and precious and was worn by legendary Welsh princes. These qualities are shared by their gold range of premium strength whiskies. Penryn single malt has a light fruitiness, generous flavor, and a subtle complexity. The unique stills used produce a spirit of extraordinary strength and purity. This is married with water from the Brecon Beacons National Park and matured in the finest ex-bourbon barrels and finished in hand-selected ex-Madeira wine cask. Nose: a classic freshness with aromas of cream toffee, rich fruit, and raisins. Palate: crisp and finely rounded with the sweetness to balance and appealing dryness. Finish: notes of tropical fruit, raisins, and vanilla persist. Balance: oaky vanilla tones and a dry sweetness.
Welcome back. Now, before I go any further, I would like to give some thank yous and shout outs to people who, without them, this video or the series may not have been possible. So I'd like to thank Nikki Manton for her voiceover of the Cotswold Whisky. She has a YouTube channel and reviews whiskies with her husband Anthony called The New Dram Drinkers. I would also like to thank Menno for his voiceover of the Guillon Cuvee 42. And he has his own website and he reviews and blogs his whiskey. Next is Jim Ingram, also known as the Whiskey Novice. He is based in Ireland and he did the voiceover of the Tyrconnell, and he also has his own YouTube channel. And next is the relative of Tom Jacklin, who did a voiceover of the Puni Gold. So thank you very much. And also to Alan McLaughlin. He did the voiceover of the Highland Park, the Viking tribe. So thank you, Alan. And lastly is to Holly, also known as the Whiskey Buzz, She has her YouTube channel, and she's doing really well, based over in Germany. And she was kind enough to do the voiceover of the Penderyn Madeira cask finish. So massive thank you to you guys, and I will pop links in the description below to all their social media channels. But there's also one more person I would like to thank, and that is to Whiskey Johnny. He was kind enough to create or adapt a logo for me for this series. I'll just put it up just here. So thank you very much, Johnny. Really appreciate it. Again, I'll pop links to Johnny's social media channels in the description below. So please do make sure you check out all of these channels. So now we know which whiskies will be representing which countries. So I just thought I'd let you know that I wanted to give myself some rules in choosing what whiskies to buy. Now, I wanted to give each whisky an even playing field. So each one must be single malt, have an ABV between 40 and 46%, and priced below £50 to keep in line with my channel criteria. In fact, they were all below £40, not including postage and packaging. So yeah, like I said, I wanted to keep each whisky an even chance, basically. However, I have one confession. The spirit representing France, the Guillon Cuvee 42. I didn't know this until I actually received the whiskey, and this was picked up by Gregoire, who's Greg's Whiskey Guide on YouTube also. Technically and legally, it's not a whiskey. The reason being, now I'm going to read this from what Greg advised. Basically, they add sugar to the wash before fermentation, which lasts for 4 weeks, to produce more sugars to get a quicker fermentation. It is apparently a process well known in the Champagne domain in France, obviously, but is totally forbidden in whiskey. And they're also known to use metal containers to influence the aging process. Like I said, I didn't know that until after I received the bottle, and unfortunately it was due to costs, it was too late for me to get a replacement. Nevertheless, we'll carry on with the tournament, and I will try and keep an open mind and give it an even review, and hopefully it will still do well and have an equal chance as the other whiskies. So anyway, back onto the tournament. So like I said earlier, the tournament will start on the Saturday the 6th of February, with the first game being at 2:15 between Italy and France. So I will release a video for that game at 2 o'clock, just before the game starts. Game number 2 is also on the 6th of February, but it's at 4:45 and it's between England and Scotland. Now I will release that video probably about 4 o'clock. And game number 3 in the first week is on Sunday the 7th of February. It kicks off at 3 o'clock and it's between Wales and Ireland. So I'll be releasing the video for those whiskies at 3 o'clock. So there we go. There we have our first set of fixtures in the tournament. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I hope you're looking forward to this tournament, as am I. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next video, the first game. So in the meantime, thanks for watching and take care. Sláinte.